I'm not on the IFB.
Yeah, no, she's.
I'm not confused. I'm confused if she's saying they re-upped your.
They have a new hip premium. We have an 11 a.m. I thought, but I don't think I'm getting the email. That's the last I got.
I don't know the code to this phone. This is cameraman's phone. I just hung up and now I don't know what.
That's
I can dial on my own phone.
You think can you do that?
I don't know what the number is.
So here, I have the numbers here. Okay. Yeah. Because they just moved controls. That's why. 646 202 7866.
What is the news now? Do we just go into specials?
They're simulcasting specials.
Are you dialed into the 11?
This is the new one, yeah, the 11.
Yeah, 7866.
Yeah, I did it on my own phone. So
yeah, his other phone got locked out. We don't have a password.
That's fine. I'll give it back to them.
Is this news now?
No, MS.
Oh, okay.
News now is the special. It should be. Let me see if they changed it from Jose. It was Jose, but
It's not Jose anymore.
Yeah. Let me find out. I don't even know.
Yes, I'm here. Yes, I'm here. Can you hear me? They're asking if they have eyes on me. I don't think they can hear me. Can you hear me?
He's dialed into your 11 a.m. numbers, 7866.
Oh, it's Garrett.
It's Garrett?
Yeah. No, I just lost it. What the fuck?
Ken Delaney just lost you guys. He heard you and then he lost you.
Oh no, it's the headset.
Oh no.
Oh, sorry.
So you've got him?
Yeah. Yes, can you hear me? Okay, great. Yes. Yes, hello. I'll try not to miss the cue this time. I don't know. Can I walk in this shot?
I don't know.
Oh, okay.
Watch the bike rack.
Hey, dude, we're in our shop, man. Buddy. I think you're exactly right, Garrett. You know, there have been demonstrators from both sides of this issue coming here every day that opinions were to be announced in anticipation of this decision, but the crowd has grown astronomically since it was announced. I can't even really, I don't have a full picture of how big it is. There's just people as far as the eye can see from where I'm standing. And the Capitol Police looks like they own this stretch of ground, and they are around in force, but there's not anything like a real perimeter. It's not like people are being searched as they come in here. So I think there are real questions, and they will grow as this day unfolds about what is the level of security here. The mood is, I mean, so far, I got to say, it's peaceful. You know, there are people of all stripes here from all sides of this issue, some, you know, wearing the same shirt and demonstrating, and others just, it looks like people walked over from the Hill. You got Hill staffers here, a couple of members of Congress we saw. So far, nothing angry or violent, but I think this is a situation that bears watching as the day unfolds, Garrett. Yeah, that's actually better. Like, yeah, I'm talking about the security, that I can do. The cops.
Ken, you've been here for the last 3 days. You know what the mood is.
Right.
You can speak to it.
All right.
This is on the ground reporting. You got it. Julie will be here soon. I believe in you. All right. House Democrats are coming down pretty soon.
Oh, okay.
So if that happens, you gotta get yourself in there.
Oh, that I have no problem with.
Okay.
I just don't like the idea that, I mean, you know who's not here? The woman who needs to get an abortion in Mississippi. You know, like, these people, you know, they're not the face of the story, but that's what I hate.
I'm Andy, by the way. I didn't get your name.
Justin.
Justin, nice to meet you.
I can.
What?
They're doing security checks now?
Oh, they should. Are they?
They weren't when I walked in there. I just walked right in.
No, it says something. I'm hearing people say when I got through security. So they were doing checks.
They absolutely should be. 'Cause-
Definitely should.
yeah.
Hey, there's signs over there, and then also there's a bunch of us chanting, like a lot of us over there. So yeah, y'all have fun.
See more celebration taking place, but there has just been a lot of emotion out here over the last hour from people on both sides, both pro-choice and pro-life supporters. Some people telling me they had been camping out here for days. I had one gentleman tell me he actually traveled here from Oregon to take part and be here in this moment. So, you know, on both sides here, people just having a lot of emotion with this. And there has been a lot of security as well. I want to show you over my shoulder here, there's been police. They've actually had to block pro-life and pro-choice supporters at one time. And in fact, I want to show you again, as all this is unfolding live, we see another huge crowd of people making their way over. This is what we've seen the last hour. Hundreds and hundreds of pro-life and pro-choice advocates making their way down to the Supreme Court to talk with other people, to take in this moment. Again, it's been nearly 7 weeks since that leaked Supreme Court draft opinion indicated overturning Roe v. Wade. But once that final decision came down, it was a lot like this moment right now. We heard cheers from the pro-life supporters here. I saw people popping champagne. There was people hugging, people crying. And at the exact same time, we saw pro-choice advocates who were just stunned, shocked, and silent. It was one of the quietest moments that I had seen from the pro-choice advocates over the last week that I have been out here. So, guys, I'm going to send things back inside to you. But again, just a lot of emotion from everyone who's gathering here outside of the Supreme Court. Yes.
Well, check this out. See what it is. Looks like lawmakers, maybe? I don't know.
Yeah, where?
The one with the fetus
Yeah,
thing,
yeah.
I think they got money from, or they gave money, or we got money from the fetus. Here's the shame. You told me what's actually happening. Just take it as well. The more we gather. Not hard stuff.
Stand by. Okay.
Not you.
Okay. All right, never mind. All right, we're ready when you are. Shall we move over near security? Thoughts? Where do you want to go?
Yeah, go over there. Go over there. Let's just stay put though and not move. Because my backpack's on the half-master. This is actually a really good shot.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah. And then the next one we can move in.
Okay. All right.
Alright, just go ahead. Let me get situated here.
Okay. All right. Coming to us next.
2 seconds here. Folks, and we'll be able to do it. Alright. We're rolling, we're good.
Well, Nathan, again, just keep going back to all the emotion. You know, I want to tell you some of the stories that we heard from people on both pro-choice and pro-life support. Hey guys, can you hear us? All right, well, I want to tell you a little bit about some of the stories that we have been hearing out in this area. So again, key word here, just a lot of emotion. We've been hearing stories from both pro-choice and pro-life advocates. One person telling me they traveled up from Oregon this week. We've had other people say they camped out here for days. We witnessed that. We saw both pro-choice and pro-life supporters out here camping out in front of the Supreme Court as they waited for that decision to come down. Once that decision came down, we just saw that group of pro-life supporters just erupt in applause. I do want to show you around here to show you just some of the security that we're seeing out in this area, because again, that leaked Supreme Court draft opinion that was just leaked 7 weeks ago, since that happened, we saw this fencing, the barriers go up. We've also seen all morning long just the extent of law enforcement out here. So all the way down this line, you can see all the police officers that are out here just making sure that everything remains peaceful. At this time, guys, we've only seen some minor incidents where they've had to step in and actually separate some groups who are getting pretty vocal with each other. But if you want to follow me, I want to just show you what we're seeing at this hour. So again, over the last hour or so, we've seen the number of people out here just continue to grow. A lot of emotion out here. We've seen people in tears. One pro-life supporter telling me that she was a part of the pro-life group in college and that she had been wanting this for decades, and that this is what she had been hoping and praying for. At the exact same time, I spoke with a pro-choice advocate who told me that they had been camping out here for 3 or 4 days, that this was a moment in history and that they were worried about what this would mean for the future and for their future kids. So it's just been a heavy feeling out here. That moment that it came out, guys, it was interesting. While at the same time we heard cheering from pro-life supporters, at the exact same time it was silent. People were just stunned. Pro-choice supporters were stunned by what they were hearing. So both sides just feeling a lot of emotion with all of this. I'm going to send things back inside to you. We're going to continue talking with supporters out here and continue to bring you updates throughout the show.
Does Abby have sound with anybody? Or?
Okay, yeah, we can do that.
Yeah, let's find somebody. Give us a second here. We'll grab somebody.
Okay, yep, we got it.
There's the powder blue people that we had for the soundbite. I mean, they're easy to grab. The powder blues that we want. Oh, yeah, they're right here. So, the guy we interviewed, see that impact?
Yeah.
One of those. Yeah, we can snap it. Let's just bring them over here, though.
Okay. Well, but then we'll have to walk into the pro-choice at the same time. Like, watch them kind of go. You know what I mean?
The only thing I'm worried about with pro-choice is their F-bombs are left and right.
Oh.
Yeah, they're like flipping out. Like, we were interviewing the one guy and it was just F word after F word after F word after F word.
Okay.
So I would say we'll get one, then we'll get one of another.
Yeah, that's good. Okay, that's good.
Or I'll hang on to this.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, you go grab somebody. Okay, cool. Hey guys, we got somebody. Just give us a second here and we'll get it taken care of for you, okay? Thanks. I figure we do it that way. Get one on one side because if we get them together, then they might be like it's just gonna be.
No, you're right. I was thinking we do one and then walk over, but that could be a nightmare trying to.
Yeah. So when we're done with these, we send it back. Then we'll go get them. Should I bring them up here?
Oh, I thought you could walk over. Okay.
Yeah.
I'll tell you to come up.
I'm from South Texas.
And did you travel here just for this?
Yes, but I would have traveled here.
Okay.
Can we just slide a little bit right there?
Okay. I'm gonna say a couple things.
Okay, yeah. We gotta move over though. This is F word.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
The first like 10 shots I got had all F-bombs in it, so I'm just like, I mean, real. Yeah, we just go like that. Yeah, where were they at? Just over there.
Never mind. Hey Nathan, so we've been hearing just a lot of stories from both pro-choice and pro-life supporters. A lot of emotion out here. I want to introduce you to two people who traveled to be out here today. Tell me a little bit about what was going through your mind when that decision first came down.
I was just very emotional. It was like, you know, I didn't think I would be here for this moment. You know, this is going to be like history. This is just the beginning of, you know, the pro-life generation, you know, being there for women, for the unborn, and for the mothers, for humanity itself. Because, you know, like 50 years, 60 million or more have died due to Roe v. Wade. And now here we are making history. Here we are saying that we stand for life. This is a celebration of life, and this is just the beginning.
I want to ask you the same question. What was going through your mind? I know you guys have known each other for some time. You're from DC, been in DC for an internship. What was going through your mind when you heard that reaction come down?
I think mostly it was just shock and joy. Weirdly, one of the things that was running through my head was when I was, I think, a junior in high school, my social studies teacher specifically said, he was like, I don't understand the March for Life because Roe will never be abolished. And here I am living through the abolishment of Roe.
Thank you so much for your time. Hey guys, I just want to bring the camera over my shoulder here. You can see a big crowd rushing to the front. We've seen this happen a couple times. As we're making their way up to the front, again, I just want to reiterate what we just heard. Those were, of course, two pro-life supporters. But one thing that they said, I've heard from a number of pro-choice supporters as well, that this is a moment that they are going to remember. This is a moment in history. All right, I want to try and get close here to see who we're seeing. Who just walked by? AOC. Oh, okay, so we're hearing the AOC just walked by. You can see they're just swarmed by the media cameras. So where we're standing right now, in the group right here, this is all pro-life supporters. Just on the other side, there's a large group of pro-choice advocates. We're going to make our way over there as well, talk to some pro-choice supporters as well, get their reaction to all of this. But as we just heard, we heard from people that came to this area to be here for this. People are saying this is a moment that, one of those moments in history that they won't forget. So guys, I'm going to send things back inside to you. We are going to go over and talk to some pro-choice supporters coming up. Sorry. Thank you.
What are y'all looking for?
Just trying to get to the other side.
Sorry about that. That's why I don't have a pocket.
So sorry.
I'm a little bit speechless. I love you, friend.
Excuse me. I just noticed
Probably to.
Wait, who is this for?
hang on, I'm dialed in here. Hey guys, can you hear us? Hey, can you hear us?
I just came by myself.
guys, can you hear us? Hey guys, can you hear us? Hey there, we have another interview whenever you're ready. How far out are we? Hey guys, how far out are we? Sorry. It's okay.
Why don't we slide down this way? Yeah, just because we're wondering.
I'll follow you.
I'm hearing.
And we can restart the interview.
I don't want to lose the girls here. Plus, let's get on the other side.
I don't have a mic. Yeah, I don't have a mic anymore.
Not your body, not your choice. My choice. My body. My choice. My body. My choice. My body. My choice. My choice. My body. 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 My choice.
My choice. I'm sorry about that.
My choice.
Hey, can you hear us?
My choice. 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 My choice.
What?
My choice.
Okay, so they're
My choice. My choice. My choice. My choice. My choice. My choice.
Okay, thanks.
My choice. 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 My choice.
I'm actually moving back to
No
California
peace.
in like a week and a half.
No peace.
Like,
No peace.
I know.
No peace.
It's crazy.
No peace. No peace. No peace. No peace. No peace. No peace.
over my shoulder. Wow. Oh my God. I'm doing a live in a couple minutes, but no, I recognize you with your face here. I wouldn't have done that. Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah, we'll have you over. Are you? Oh my God. I know how to. Okay. Stand by.
Atlanta originally, but he lives here now. I thought he was going to. Let me actually just do a quick stand up. Yes.
Yes, there's a lot of people in this crowd, and as you're hearing, the crowd is getting louder and louder. So we have a speaker just over my shoulder. You can hear they're shouting, "My body, my choice." The crowd here is really grown over the last 2 hours. We've been hearing a lot of stories about the men and women who wanted to be out here today, including Lucy. I know I saw you were wearing a Ruth Bader Ginsburg t-shirt. I just asked what was going through your mind when you heard this decision come down.
I was upset. I saw when RBG passed away last year, this was only a matter of time for it to happen. I'm just really disgusted that this ended up happening. I saw yesterday with the decision on guns, I just wasn't hopeful for today. I kept hoping for the best, but it's clear that these justices don't care about the majority of Americans and their voices.
You know, it's clear being out here, you can feel the emotion out here, both sides, pro-life, pro-choice supporters, there's a lot of emotion out here. You were saying your family has been texting back and forth, calling back and forth. You know, again, could you just share what's been going through their mind?
They're upset too. I mean, just millions of voices of women have just been silenced, and anyone with a uterus is now in danger of not having bodily autonomy. It's disgusting. I'm really upset.
You know, something else that I've heard from both pro-life and pro-choice supporters is people saying this is one of those days in American history that they will never forget. And, you know, I'm curious, when that decision first came down, what was going through your mind in that moment?
I was scared. I'm fortunate enough, I'm from California and it's protected over there, but women in Texas and where there's a conservative majority, they're not safe, and no one should ever feel like that.
Lucy, thank you so much for your time. Guys, so we heard from pro-choice, pro-life supporters over the last 30 minutes. I want to briefly just show you the amount of security. So just over the barrier there, so we have fencing, we have barriers, we have an entire line of police. From what we've seen, everything has remained mainly peaceful. Just after 10 o'clock, we did see police had to separate several groups, but for the most part, it's just been a lot of people wanting to come out here to share their stories and to make sure that their voices were heard. Guys.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Where do you want to go for noon? We should go over there, right?
Do we have time to take a break? We have 15 minutes. We're clear till noon.
Okay.
Can you hear me? Oh shit, they can't hear me because I'm.
Hey, CNBC can't hear you.
I'm checking in for. It's Ken Delaney checking in for CNBC.
Yeah.
I got it. Oh, you're good?
They got it? You got it?
Yeah, normally they can hear.
Yeah, it's CNBC here.
We're in the middle of something, sir.
No, I'm going to be right here. You need to know now.
Okay, well,
I should be, yeah. Can you hear me through the mic? Yep, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Thank you. Yeah.
Not good at all. Yeah, you gotta do it then.
Guys, I need you to go around here, ma'am. Guys, I need you to go around, please.
No, you're not going this way. You're not going this way.
I'm behind you. Yeah.
Oh, sorry, you're with us.
What's up, bro? Hey, man, you're not doing it.
Yes, I do. Who's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? Is that Shep? Yeah. Okay. Okay.
Intimidating anybody that gets close to pro-choice. They surround them. They surrounded me. Tried to intimidate.
Would you say there are thousands of people here?
Yeah. What? At least 2.
Yeah.
At least 2,000.
Well, you can see it.
For sure.
Right,
That's out of school.
Yeah.
That's out of school.
We're interested, trust me, this could do that.
Good luck today.
Yeah, hello. Okay. Of course, yeah.
And you don't think it's going to turn around and look, see all the people in the red shirts, then you'll notice a ring of black shirts around them. And they're all. And I asked one of them, I said, why are you doing this? They're hard. They hire black people to intimidate. Not black people, just people. To intimidate the pro-choice.
Hey, Shep. Yeah, that's right. You know, there were about 100 protesters here before the decision was announced on both sides, and they had been coming pretty much every day. Supreme Court opinions were to be posted in anticipation of this moment. But this crowd has grown by leaps and bounds. There are thousands of people here now. And as you mentioned, there are organized protesters from both sides wearing, the same outfits and carrying, placards. They're also members of Congress and Hill staffers because we are situated between the Capitol building and the Supreme Court behind me. So far, it's a largely peaceful, if a little bit rowdy scene. The Capitol Police seems to be out in big force. There's a lot of officers around here, and we just interviewed an important member of Congress who oversees the Capitol Police, who says he believes that they have the security situation in hand here, but it does bear watching. This crowd is growing by the hour, but again, largely peaceful so far, Chap.
Who is it? Well, I came to you, so you should barely know. You'll have to speak. We're going to go over to what chamber are you? Oh, my favorite chamber.
That's a great question. I had that same thought myself. And obviously, look, the people who come to these kinds of events are activists. It's not the woman that needs an abortion in Mississippi right now that's outside the Supreme Court. But there's some very passionate people who are in tears when this decision came down. There are younger people, there are older people, people of all political persuasions. A lot of organization here because there's a lot of money behind both sides of this issue in terms of lobbying and political advocacy, but also a lot of passion, Chef. Yeah, I'm clear.
Oh. Now, you're the guy I need to talk to.
Now, I have another live shot, man.
We have another live shot coming up.
Well, then you should hear this before the live show.
Okay.
You want to drink a news story?
Julia just got here.
What's the number?
Hey, Julia. You're at the gate? Okay. We're in dead center, yeah. All right.
You don't want to talk.
I need the IFB.
Yeah. Sorry. IFB is the same one for 4 is
1646. Yeah.
202 7866.
What? 7866.
You want to go to another channel, you can, but they don't. But they're not going to talk. They're not talking to you. They don't want to talk to you. Yeah, this is where my street coming in.
I understand that. I just want to tell you what's going on here. And you can do with it what you want.
We're about to go live. Y'all can go around for me. Y'all go around. Go around.
Yes. Okay. They haven't checked in with me though. Oh no, we're not on yet. It's okay. You are the best security man I've ever had.
I'm not playing. I like you to be comfortable. Like, they make you. I don't like when people are uncomfortable.
You should see some of the people they send to these things. They're like smaller than me. Hey, how are you?
I'm sorry. You could have gave me
Oh,
one out of
I'm
now.
sorry.
Okay,
I don't
great.
want to be on. Okay, hi. Boy, this is so tight. If you had to get out of here.
Did you pass a checkpoint?
No, I
Metal
got right
detectors?
in. No. But it's so narrow.
It's so narrow. Did they do any sort of security check getting
Not
in?
at all.
No, okay. So that's not true.
All right.
You're like, hi.
I have Congresswoman Sarah Jacobs, if you're looking to talk to members right there.
And she's with NBC as well. We already got her.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, sorry.
I apologize.
Appreciate it. I'm glad you took off your jacket.
I mean, I'll do. I'm about to do a top of 12, yeah, and
Okay.
then maybe we'll just hand off.
Yeah.
Unless they want us both to stay.
You got mine at 12:30.
I keep saying News Now is running specials, so there's no
News Now is running specials, so there is no News Now until...
Who's doing the crowd for specials? Mora?
Mora is doing specials, yeah. They checked you in yet?
No.
Oh, so they may be just switching control rooms now, or switching,
Right.
switching teams now, I should say. Because it's 55.
Well, that was cool. That was really cool. Yeah, that was really good. I don't know if there's any...
I could tell Shep wanted interviews with people, but like I wasn't in a position to do that.
Well, it's just, and they have material already to put that in, but they just...
She's like right over there.
I know you.
Yeah, I'm a nut. Just rant. Something very, very important. I'm just ranting about because you guys want that.
How did you get him to go away?
You gotta listen, and then you gotta say, sure, I have a job to do, I appreciate you.
Good for you.
Good for you.
Well, I can pick him up in the air. That's not good.
Woo.
It is
I'm
real
a sweater,
today.
by the way. So this is like, I need like a rag or something.
I have like glasses rag I can get, like, to clean my glasses if that helps.
Well, that's okay. I mean,
Do you want to
after
take your
this
tie
hit,
off?
that's not really the
You
issue.
can open it up.
Yeah. After this hit, I'll go get water.
Is he dialed into the 12?
Yeah, he is. They haven't checked him in yet, though. MS, have you guys checked in Ken? Have you guys checked in Ken with the Supreme Court?
Do we have water over at our area?
Do you want me to grab you something?
Yeah, that'd be great. Thanks. But Oh yeah, they left, huh?
That's weird. Like they just all took off from the thing. It's crazy.
That is odd. Maybe they're going to march or something.
Unless they're going to where everybody not being able to get in.
What?
They saying that it's like 1,000 people not being able to get in. So it might be going over there. I'm listening to those people walk by the things they're saying.
Oh yeah?
Yeah. Word of mouth will keep you in tune, keep you safe.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
The others are special.
Key.
Yeah, and we're trying to keep people away from coming here.
Right in here, you can see both.
Yeah. I know, it was so nice out, and here it's like,
Great job.
You're very kind. I don't think, it's not my finest hour, but thank you.
Hi,
I've frankly been surprised.
Ken, have you checked him in or not? MS, can you please check in Ken Delaney and try to SCOTUS?
Are they switching control rooms? Well, they just went to Josh.
They don't know. They need to go around. Are you doing 123H? Oh, the camera's not pointed at him. Yeah, we gotta get the camera in position. Yeah, that's the camera. Just 1 minute.
Thank you. Sit the spot. I'll drink the rest. Don't worry. Oh.
Just do a small pan, a slow pan. Andy.
Guys, can you go around? You guys go around, please. Sir, can you please?
He's trying to Let's have everybody go around, please. Thank you so much.
Small pan, and you'll see him.
Can you guys just go around?
Copy.
He's going to help you in this corner.
Oh, thank you, thank you.
Teamwork.
I just told them. Be slow.
The pro. Yes, I can. Hi. The pro-life folks, a lot of them left.
A lot of them left. They're marching. I don't know where.
Okay.
I can try and find out.
Just making sure you guys heard me. It's Ken.
Damn, smoke some more cigarettes, fuck.
It's gonna get ugly later.
Yeah, I know it's gonna get pretty.
Okay, they just switched Andrew.
Guys.
You know, Killer Troy.
Yes, can you hear me?
Area moving so people can get through.
sound
Oh
bad.
my gosh.
No, I was pressed in service.
Yeah, he actually.
He's helping. Guys, okay, so we keep moving here so that way we can get our, so that way these folks can move through. Guys, could you step forward a little bit just so these folks can keep moving through? Thank you.
All right, they're in Pelosi.
All right.
They're in Pelosi.
Okay. All right.
It's okay, Andy. Just let people go.
Yeah.
You got it.
What a fucking lunatic. Stupid cunt.
On cam.
Sorry. So much appreciated, guys.
Still on cam. They're in boxes.
Where are you located? Where are you
Off
located?
cam. When I keep my hand down here, it's because you're on.
Okay.
I'll take it out. I'll tap you when you're.
Sorry,
Okay.
can you go around this way? Sir? I need you to go around this way. He's on TV right now.
What?
Folks, if you could step forward just a little bit so that way these folks can come through. I'll get out of your way. You guys so much. I appreciate it.
What's the system again? Wait a minute.
If you're on camera, my hand's gonna be up here.
Okay.
Okay. You're not on camera right now. If he tosses it back to Andrea, you're probably gonna be in boxes. So listen to what he's about to toss. They're taking a 6 box right now.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, you're good.
So one more bite, sorry. That's right for you, thank you.
Just Andrea right now.
Wait, who's AB?
Alex Bacala.
Oh.
Oh, it's when somebody participates in murdering someone. Guys,
Oh, sorry.
It's okay, it's okay. They're using the pump right now. It's okay.
thank you.
right, now hold it.
Andrea, I'm actually at the Supreme Court right now, so I don't have visibility on Merrick Garland's statement, but I am here with about 2,000 people wedged into this First Street area between the Capitol and the Supreme Court. You know, there were about 100 people when the decision was announced, so folks from both sides of the issue have flooded in here. There's some carrying signs and wearing T-shirts. There are other people who just came over from the Hill. It looks like staffers and members of Congress, prominent people from both sides of the aisle. This has been a passionate, raucous, even rowdy crowd, but so far peaceful. The Capitol Police is deployed in force here on the outer edges of this perimeter, and they appear to have the situation in hand. So far, we haven't seen anything approaching violence. It's been largely peaceful, but a lot of passion on both sides here, Andrea. I think that's a good bet, Andrea. Yeah, that black fence is keeping people away from a part of this building that used to be open to the public, and now it just speaks to the, sort of the divisive nature of our politics. The intelligence agencies have warned that this is one of the issues that extremists have seized on as a potential flashpoint for violence. Again, right now this scene is quite peaceful, but it bears watching as more and more people try to come into this very small space. There is not a security perimeter, as far as we understand, around this area. People can just walk in here. But as I said, there are many, many Capitol Police officers on the outskirts, Andrea.
Still on camera.
Very good.
Off cam. Nice job.
What the heck?
It's okay. What?
Did you hear what happened?
Why Gina? Sorry, how much? I thought she said you're in front of SCOTUS, but that I didn't know. You're fine. It's a good thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Tony, excuse me, sir?
Ma'am.
Oh, sorry, you guys.
Just check.
Remember I told you that
Very nice, Tony. Very nice. Thank you. Thank you very much,
This is my work. Channel by water.
Different time.
Right. Yeah, that was yesterday. But remember that's why I seen that.
All right.
I told you this.
Here's the deal.
Yeah.
They turned around that camera.
Yeah.
So you can do hits from over there. Julia will do in the crowd.
Perfect.
Okay?
All right.
So let's rebase.
All right.
Where's Julia?
So I'm going to hand this off
She
to her.
walked away for a second. Let me know when to come over. I'll say, come back over here.
I think you've been cleared. I would double check, but I just got an email saying all hits go to Julia now.
Okay. Great.
Okay, let me just.
That makes sense, actually.
Sylvia.
She's good. Thanks.
Where's Julia?
Yeah. That's what Caesar just told me, but we just had to get Ken at the top of the 12, so I did it off of Tony, and then now we're going to switch out for Julia. We're just waiting for security to arrive.
I'm staying up here.
Tony Zumbato. Yeah, Tony's staying put for the bump shot right now, and if they want Julia again, we can put her in front of Tony's shot until Caesar is ready. Okay? You got it. Bye.
We're clear from the show, obviously, right? We can hang this
We're
up?
from the show. Hold on a second, Ashley. Hi. All right, next hit is at top of the 1 for Julia.
All right, here you go. Good luck.
Thanks. Hopefully we will have a more roving cam by then. Okay. If not, we're going to go off of this one, which is the bump shot right now. Okay.
You know what I would recommend is maybe interview people.
Yeah, I mean, can we do that? Do we have a camera to go with us into a crowd?
We don't, not yet.
But I could say,
we can bring them here. The only thing is they're using that shot around the clock. So unless you're doing a hit, I can't move that camera. Yeah. This is the shot that they're
taking. Could we pre-interview someone and bring them on for a live shot?
So right now they're taking his shot.
Yeah.
And they've been running this.
Yeah. That's why I was
so unfortunately now you could do it on Ronnie's Ease cam as long as specials gets off at 12:30.
Okay. And then and Biden's speaking. They're going to go off when Biden starts speaking.
Is he speaking
at 12:30?
Then I don't know why specials would do that. That's above my pay grade. So,
and I bet there's a good chance Biden will be late. So that could go into the one too. But
right, here,
we'll figure it out.
Oh, thank you, man.
I'd at least like to be like, I talked to somebody and they said X.
All right.
Ken goes, I don't do this. And I was like, Ken, just talk about what you're saying. Done that, you're good at it.
Yeah, but it's just the whole manufacturing,
Yeah, it's a lot. I cannot get over how bad the security, like not you, but like the Capitol Police situation. Like, this is just made for something to happen because there's a pinhole exit.
And when he was there, that guy came out trying to instigate something. People were touching people. Really? And I was looking at that and I was just like, oh no, this better not. And it was already getting a little tense. And I was like, that's
So I'm sorry to fame girl out on you guys, but I love you. You're such a nice computer. I am like never changing the Oh, thank you. Thank you so much for your reporting and your insights and analysis. I feel like I know I would have known it. That's okay. But you're the I'm sorry, Julia, but I know what you do because you like
Courtney does DOD. That's okay. She's really good. Yeah. I do justice and immigration. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
But thank you.
Yeah, my pleasure. My pleasure.
Appreciate it. Thanks for watching. Thank you.
You know, this has been a horror.
Yeah.
I know.
In so many ways.
I'm sure. Yes, a lot of it. Thank you. Nice meeting you.
Christian Union. Oh, yeah. He just said he had to go get more batteries.
Ken, do you want to get out of here?
I'm not sure whether they said something about going over there, but they're not going to take that shot. Nobody cares about the official Supreme Court pillar shot. They're not going to talk about the decision.
Do you like the peach? I read there. It's interesting, like the way Chief Justice Roberts did concurrence with judgment. So it's like he didn't want to side with them completely, but he does. I mean, but he doesn't want to.
Would you say it's a 6-3 decision eviscerating Roe? Or
Yeah.
is it 5-4?
You okay?
6-3 because he does.
Well, I'll just take it all in. I'm seeing it in action.
Andrew, maybe.
Well, this is a little.
She's like, you gotta make from the Justice Department. Merrick Garland just a statement. I was like,
are you
actually, Andrew, I'm in front of the Supreme Court. I have no visibility on Merrick Garland's statement, but I just went into my head.
They need someone to watch you.
It's almost like she's trying to sandbag me, but I know that's not true.
My past life, I did great audience control at Disney, and that was like.
I was pregnant when they were under the bridge. I didn't go to the but like
But it's
I
too
didn't
good to
even.
check.
I did. I was like, oh, thanks, you know. Pretty tough. Maureen Dowd wants to do that.
So they don't actually want that shot. You know, me standing on the.
No, they just decided they don't want that shot. So we're waiting for someone to come, look at, like, watch the equipment so Caesar can get on it. They're ready to go. They're literally just waiting for a security guard.
For me to go in there and interview people.
Sorry.
You know, someone to watch the equipment.
Well, someone needs to.
Someone needs to watch our bags.
Someone needs to watch you.
Oh, but I thought I was leaving.
Doesn't matter.
What do you mean?
You're on TV. Like, you're noticeable. Like someone.
Well,
just
he's
said-
bigger.
That's my point.
Where you go.
As important as the equipment is, your lives are more.
Thank you.
So he means in order to leave.
Oh, you can't even leave until you. Because I just walked up without a security person.
No. That's he just can't like just ignore us because if they're like not doing now and I want him to like help block.
Yeah. All right, somebody's
No, but
got
I'm
to.
saying-
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't guard the.
I mean, did you know I played football in college? It's been a little bit.
Did you really? Class block around all of our thousands of dollars of equipment. What happened to Ken Delanian? Oh well. It was either Ken or the equipment. Don't need.
If I'm leaving, I'm going to try to figure out what is going on with the security situation. Because I don't think anyone's doing that.
No, there's like guys just sitting on the edge down there.
Well, I told you, yeah, there's.
But nobody's screening. I've tried calling them today. They're not
They don't
picking
answer
up.
the phone, but we'll try FBI. Other people who would know.
Courtney said she was going to try to see if they're calling a National Guard.
I just realized they assigned no one to do this. Is Cosner doing it on the spot? Winter's like,
Cosner's
well,
off today.
he's off today? No, he told me to.
Okay, Alana thought he was off today.
And Winter's like, well, I don't do DC.
It
You
also
gotta
gets-
change that. That's crazy.
Winter said, what about Pete?
Well, yeah.
Pete's focused on the night.
Oh, it's 9:30.
Oh, God.
It's weird to me when it gets quiet. I don't
Yeah,
like
that's
that.
what made me feel like. Yeah.
It hasn't ever been like that. Anything I've covered. That's strange.
This will be fine unless some outside agitators decide to take advantage of the situation.
People like bringing their kids through here
Yeah.
and bikes.
Yeah. Forests
So
are here.
pro-lifers, I don't know where they went. They left. And that's kind of where I'm curious.
Yeah.
Yeah, I worry about like a road.
There was an organization, like, I mean, they brought a box of signs. I mean, they were ready to go.
Yeah,
So they had
organizations
something.
seem a little more friendly.
They seem to have something planned.
All right. Well, then I'm gonna go and I'm gonna try to find out what the plan is to keep you guys alive.
Okay, thanks.
All right.
You let me know.
Good luck. Thanks, everybody. Great.
All right, thanks.
No, you're saying us.
And I don't have an IFB. Is there one out here?
Oh, Ken.
Ken.
Oh yeah.
You got clean ears, don't you?
We have another one for
Okay,
you.
good. I'm like, I won't share AirPods with my husband, but in the pinch, I'll take yours.
Hold on. We're good to go. Where do you want us? All right, I'm going to go grab the crew.
All right.
Please respond to Lana. Say she will be in the crowd for the one.
Got it.
Back to this. But I do believe that these things like a pendulum, they swing and now go back in the other direction. But terrible. Just so terrible.
I mean, if something happened here, which direction would we run? Over this?
I think.
All right, thanks.
That's right.
Okay, take care.
You can just throw me. I'm okay. I'll bump and bruise if I can get away.
And I'll be standing in front of the door.
All right, thanks. Okay. You got an eye on anybody who's a little suspicious. Thankful to have you.
It's been pretty peaceful, honestly.
Okay. I know, it's just the way the whole country is right now, you know?
So volatile.
Cheers of victory, of course, coming from the pro-life part of these protesters, and also cries of anger.
This is all the people that just made it and go their way.
All for rights, for the right to choose, and right now we have still.
I think Biden's speaking right now, so we are.
Oh, he started early?
There are barriers that were set up weeks ago, really getting ready for this day, but there are hundreds of people. Right now, I will say a little bit more of the protesters who are disappointed by this decision. I can see signs that say, I will aid and abet abortion, my body and my choice, and they are here. People are still continuing to arrive, but you have also those who are still here celebrating this decision. So right here in front of the steps of the Supreme Court, you have the divisions of the United States.
Okay. You're good. See, I profile and I'm like, it's just a little but I shouldn't do this.
Even right now, it's still COVID. I'm not trying to be up in people's face.
Yeah. This looks like that's twice and something's so strange going on. You want to switch again? Okay. I thought she was coming over to this side.
It's annoying.
She might just recognize me. She gave me like a once over. It was almost like she was pregnant.
On a Friday. I didn't expect it on a Friday.
It's like they just want to get out of town. They're more concerned about their safety.
Just need drink. I think they're gonna move you into the crowd in a moment here.
Have a dog fight in the middle of this with a little.
Yeah. People have got their dogs. I'm like stunned at way of your dogs. And then people coming in here with giant bikes, and I'm like, do you think there's room for the bikes here? Like,
the bikes really got me. They just look like tourists.
yeah, they're like, oh yeah, let's go in the middle of all this, and you're like, oh, this is a great place to go on vacation.
Yeah.
Overall, the majority of Americans are in favor of allowing a woman to choose whether she wants to have an abortion or not. And so this is going to be a political issue. And one sign of that is that earlier on today, I saw several representatives, both Democrats and Republicans, coming here and talking to the crowd, addressing the crowd. The Republicans, of course, hailing this as a big victory. Taylor Greene
I'm getting my email.
very
I can't get
ally
live shot of
of President Donald Trump, who, of course, appointed those three conservative justices that changed the makeup of the court. She was here on a sort of victory lap, but he also saw several Democratic representatives, and one of them was actually talking about those midterms. He said, this is what we need to do. We need to vote in November, and we need to keep
Good to
pushing.
see you. What a day. Hey, how are you, Susan?
Give me 1 second. Let me get. Here's your IFB.
Okay.
You're dialed in already here.
I'm just gonna put my phone in here.
I can carry that for you.
Okay, thanks. Try to travel light. Love it.
Trade you.
Can I give you that for a second?
Yep, absolutely.
So this is not fresh out of Kinsey, or it's been cleaned or something?
That is a new one.
Okay.
Gotcha.
Oh, am I switching mics?
This is Tony's.
He's still getting batteries.
Can you hold this
Yeah,
then,
I'll hold
please?
that then.
So that Julia has
Let's keep this away.
for interview. We'll just have to for interview. Yeah. All right. Let's bring her up. Okay. So what are we? Just real quick. These are going to be recorded that I can throw to in the one. So the first thing I'm going to do is let the MSMU speakers know that you're in the crowd if they want to take you in the spot. Okay, cool. If not, then let's use this time to get sound and throw it back. Great. Sound good? Yeah. All right. Let me just frame you up so in case they do decide. Sorry, yeah, where did you?
Where the hell did this?
Audio check, 1, 2. Audio check for press, 1, 2, 3. Audio check, 1, 2, 1, 2. Yep. Check, 1, 2, check, 1, 2. Audio check, 1, 2, 1, 2. 1, 2, 3. Everyone's good? All right.
Where? I heard it was clear, yeah, but I mean, there's no. This is like for the full head-on camera that you're plugged in. I want you to just watch out for the cable. It's gonna be like a multi-mode. Where? Where's the multi? Where's the remote? Just walk up. Walk up. Where's your remote? Down there. Can you show this gentleman? That's what we're trying to do. It's just a split six. Right there? Alright. Just a split six. That's the mall. It should be lined up. Andy, are you going to be down when he starts? Okay, just checking. Just checking. Watch out for that Rafini girl. She's trouble. Happy Father's Day. minutes.
Today is it's not hyperbole to suggest a very solemn moment. Today, the Supreme Court of the United States expressly took away a constitutional right from the American people that it had already recognized. They didn't limit it, they simply took it away. That's never been done to a right so important to so many Americans, but they did it. It's a sad day for the court and for the country. 50 years ago, Roe v. Wade was decided and has been the law of the land since then. This landmark case protected a woman's right to choose, her right to make intensely personal decisions with her doctor, free from the interference of politics. It reaffirmed basic principles of equality, that women have the power to control their own destiny, and it reinforced a fundamental right of privacy, a right of each of us to choose how to live our lives. Now, with Roe gone, let's be very clear. The health and life of women in this nation are now at risk. As chairman and ranking member of the Senate Judiciary Committee, as vice president and now as president of the United States, I've studied this case carefully. I've overseen more Supreme Court confirmations than anyone today, where this case was always discussed. I believe Roe v. Wade was the correct decision as a matter of constitutional law and application of the fundamental right to privacy and liberty in matters of family and personal autonomy. It was a decision on a complex matter that drew a careful balance between a woman's right to choose earlier in her pregnancy and the state's ability to regulate later in her pregnancy. A decision with broad national consensus that most Americans of faith and backgrounds found acceptable, and that had been the law of the land for most of the lifetime of Americans today. And it was a constitutional principle upheld by justices appointed by Democrat and Republican presidents alike. Roe v. Wade was a 7-2 decision, written by a justice appointed by a Republican president, Richard Nixon. In the 5 decades that followed Roe v. Wade, justices appointed by Republican presidents from Eisenhower, Nixon, and Reagan, George W. Bush, were among the justices who voted to uphold the principles set forth in Roe v. Wade. It was 3 justices named by one president, Donald Trump, who were the core of today's decision to upend the scales of justice and eliminate a fundamental right for women in this country. Make no mistake, this decision is a culmination of a deliberate effort over decades to upset the balance of our law. It's a realization of an extreme ideology and a tragic error by the Supreme Court, in my view. The court has done what it has never done before, expressly take away a constitutional right that is so fundamental to so many Americans that had already been recognized. The court's decision to do so will have real and immediate consequences. State laws banning abortion are automatically taking effect today, jeopardizing the health of millions of women, some without exceptions. So extreme that women could be punished for protecting their health. So extreme that women and girls were forced to bear their rapist's child. With the child, a consequence. It just stuns me. So extreme that doctors will be criminalized for fulfilling their duty to care. Imagine having a young woman have to carry the child of incest as a consequence of incest. No option. Too often the case. The poor women are going to be hit the hardest. It's cruel. In fact, the court laid out state laws criminalizing abortion that go back to the 1800s as rationale. The court literally taking America back 150 years. This is a sad day for the country, in my view. But it doesn't mean the fight's over. Let me be very clear and unambiguous. The only way we can secure a woman's right to choose, the balance that existed, is for Congress to restore the protections of Roe v. Wade as federal law. No executive action from the president can do that. And if Congress, as it appears, lacks the votes to do that now, voters need to make their voices heard. This fall, we must elect more senators and representatives who will codify women's right to choose into federal law once again. Elect more state leaders to protect this right at the local level. We need to restore the protections of Roe as law of the land. We need to elect officials who will do that. This fall, Roe is on the ballot. Personal freedoms are on the ballot. The right to privacy, liberty, equality, they're all on the ballot. Until then, I will do all of my power to protect a woman's right in states where they will face the consequences of today's decision. While the court's decision cast a dark shadow over a large swath of the land, many states in this country still recognize a woman's right to choose. So, if a woman lives in a state that restricts abortion, the Supreme Court's decision does not prevent her from traveling from her home state to the state that allows it. It does not prevent a doctor in that state from treating her. As the Attorney General has made clear, women must remain free to travel safely to another state to seek care they need. My administration will defend that bedrock right. If any state or local official, high or low, tries to interfere with a woman's exercising her basic right to travel, I will do everything in my power to fight that deeply un-American attack. My administration will also protect a woman's access to medications that are approved by the Food and Drug Administration, the FDA, like contraception, which is essential for preventative health care, mifepristone, which the FDA approved 20 years ago to safely end early pregnancies and is commonly used to treat miscarriages. Some states are saying that they'll try to ban or severely restrict access to these medications. But extremist governors and state legislators are looking to block the mail or search a person's medicine cabinet or control a woman's actions by tracking data on her apps she uses are wrong and extreme and out of touch with the majority of Americans. The American Medical Association, the American College of Obstetricians and Gynecologists wrote to me and Vice President Harris stressing that these laws are not based on evidence and asking us to act to protect access to care. They say by limiting access to these medicines, maternal mortality will climb in America. That's what they say. Today, I'm directing the Department of Health and Human Services to take steps to ensure these critical medications are available to the fullest extent possible. And the politicians cannot interfere in the decisions that should be made between a woman and her doctor. And my administration will remain vigilant as the implications of this decision play out. I've warned about how this decision risks the broader right to privacy for everyone. That's because Roe recognized the fundamental right to privacy that has served as a basis for so many more rights that we've come to take for granted, that are ingrained in the fabric of this country. The right to make the best decisions for your health. The right to use birth control, a married couple in the privacy of their bedroom, for God's sake. The right to marry the person you love. Justice Thomas said as much today. He explicitly called to reconsider the right of marriage equality, the right of couples to make their choices on contraception. This is extreme and dangerous path the court is now taking us on. Let me close with 2 points. First, I call on everyone, no matter how deeply they care about this decision, to keep all protests peaceful. Peaceful, peaceful, peaceful. No intimidation. Violence is never acceptable. Threats and intimidation are not speech. We must stand against violence in any form, regardless of your rationale. Second, I know so many of us are frustrated and disillusioned that the court has taken something away that's so fundamental. I know so many women are now going to face incredibly difficult situations. I hear you. I support you. I stand with you. The consequences and the consensus of the American people, core principles of equality, liberty, dignity, and the stability of the rule of law demand that Roe should not have been overturned. With this decision, the conservative majority of the Supreme Court shows how extreme it is, how far removed they are from the majority of this country. They've made the United States an outlier among developed nations in the world. But this decision must not be the final word. My administration will use all of its appropriate lawful powers, but Congress must act. And with your vote, you can act. You can have the final word. This is not over. Thank you very much. I have more to say this in weeks to come. Thank you.
Mr. President, do you still have confidence in the court? Do you still have confidence in the court, Mr. President? Do you want to see term limits on the Supreme Court?
Is the Supreme Court broken? Is it broken?
I'm right here. Okay.
Yeah, you've been back in Albany for a while now. They don't put you out in the street, do they?
What'd you say?
They don't put you out in the street.
They don't put
much.
many of us out.
Oh, the tape's coming off here.
Come on, there we go.
Tell me when we're ready. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right. Are we ready?
Yep.
Okay. Welcome, everyone. My name is Shelley Hegan. I'm the president and CEO at Upper Hudson Planned Parenthood. I'm sure I'm not the first to tell you this is an incredibly devastating day. We have taken away a right that the court had once given us for one of the first times in history, and we can only be preparing ourselves now for what rights come next. People here in New York are able to access safe and legal abortion, which is wonderful, but every young person that lives in New York today is less free than they were when they woke up this morning. They cannot make the decision to go to college wherever they want. They cannot take a job wherever they want and expect that they can make decisions for their futures and their families like I did and like many of you did. So I am overwhelmed with gratitude that we have such supportive legislators, and I really am excited to welcome Senator Kirsten Gillibrand.
Thank you.
Sorry. First, I want to introduce you to an amazing leader in our community, the president of the YWCA of the Capital Region, Starlita Smith.
Thank you. I wish I can say that today was a good afternoon, because this is not a good afternoon. This is a historic and shockingly unthinkable afternoon in a country that is becoming more oppressive and more unrecognizable every single day. My name is Starlita Smith, and I'm the proud executive director of YWCA of the Greater Capital Region, where our mission is to eliminate racism and empower women by promoting peace, justice, freedom, and dignity for all. We have been in Troy since 1883, and I want to clarify something about our mission. While we are known as a women's organization, we stand in full support of our transgender, non-binary, and gender non-conforming community. YWCA of the Greater Capital Region is here for any person with a uterus, any person who can or wants to have a baby, and any person who wants or needs an abortion. Abortions must be legal, safe, and accessible to any person and for any reason. The ruling today is shocking to me and to all of us, but we cannot stand idly while we watch the Supreme Court turn back nearly 5 decades. While they rule in favor of oppression, in favor of what decisions that will be disproportionately impacting the Black and brown communities and poor communities. While it's become increasingly obvious that guns in America have more rights than people who bear children. The audacity of the Supreme Court to not trust women to make the already hard decision for what is best for themselves, their futures, their families, and their bodies. Amen. What future is readily a reality in America that we're marching towards? Who are we fighting to protect? What is freedom, and who has it? Dr. Martin Luther King said, "The arc of the moral universe is long, but it bends towards justice." Today, let me tell you, sadly, this decision takes us in the wrong direction. We have lost our way. It's time for us to remain diligent, to fight, and to do everything in our power to bend our country toward the light, toward the freedom, the justice, and dignity for all. Thank you. I now have the honor to open up for Christian Joe. Thank you so much.
Thank you for your story. Thank you. This Supreme Court has come down with a radical decision. This decision is extreme, it's extremist, it is out of step with the American public, and is turning the clock back for 50 years. It is denying women basic constitutional rights, basic human rights, basic civil rights, basic human dignity. Previous courts have said that women deserve the freedom to make reproductive decisions out of a fundamental right to privacy that's created not by just one amendment to our Constitution, but 5. They said that because the First Amendment works with the Fourth Amendment, the Fifth Amendment, the Sixth Amendment, and the 14th Amendment, they said all of these rights together create a right to privacy that is unique to humankind, that they want to make these fundamental personal decisions about when they're having children, under what circumstances they're having children, with whom they're having children. Those decisions are precedent. Precedent, according to Justice Kavanaugh, deserves due deference. No, now it does not. They have taken away the weight of this precedence, taken away the notion of stare decisis, taken away the precedent of Casey, and said, we disagree. Under this Supreme Court, they could unwind any Supreme Court precedent that they felt they wanted to do. Under the line of cases that are right to privacy, then we're not just talking about reproductive freedom, we're talking about the right for LGBTQ equality, the right for gay marriage, the right to decide what kind of contraception your body needs, the right to make any personal medical decision. This reasoning is so far-reaching and so out of step with the norm that it's unconscionable. Now everyone's going to be asking, what do we do? What do we do? What can we do? So we can raise our voices, we can speak up, we can speak out, and we can fight back by making sure that we elect people who believe women deserve equality. Women in this country. Women in this country deserve equal access to health care. We deserve equality. We deserve the basic fundamental right to bodily autonomy. Under what other law does it tell a human they must do something that may result in their own death, must do something against their values, against their goals, against their human nature? This decision, this Mississippi law that they have said is acceptable, makes no exceptions for rape, no exceptions for incest. So you're telling a young child they have to carry to term a child created by their father. You're telling a woman she has to take to term a child created by her rapist. It is unconscionable. It is unfair. And it is an outrage. So we do have to fight back. And we have to elect people who share our values. This issue is on the ballot in November. I hope in many people's mind it is the issue on the ballot. Because if women do not have equality in this country, if women are not full citizens, if women don't have the right, the human rights and human dignity to decide what's going to happen to their bodies and their futures, we have lost our rights to citizenship. So please, everyone here, you have to fight. You have to fight like your life depends upon it. Because for so many women and our LGBTQ friends, it does. We know in America today that maternal mortality is higher than in any other industrialized country.
If you are a black woman in America, you are 4 times more likely to die in childbirth or within a year of giving birth because of the systemic racism in our healthcare system. So you are telling women their lives don't matter? You're telling poor women and black women and women of color their lives don't matter? You're telling them that they are less than. So that is the weight of this decision. It is the weight of the responsibility that every voter in America must carry. So please ask your friends, ask your loved ones, ask anyone you know, how do you feel about this? Do you believe women deserve equal rights? Do you believe our lives are valuable? Do you believe we are full citizens? And if they do, let them only support candidates that support reproductive freedom.
Hi, everyone. I'm State Senator Michelle Hinchey, and first, Senator Gillibrand, I want to thank you for your incredible words right now and for calling us all together today. I know many of us needed some space to come. I drove here from Woodstock. I have the privilege of representing 5 counties, including here in the Capital Region, but I drove here today from Woodstock, and in all honesty, I'll do it again right now, I cried in the car on the way here. And yet, I know that I'm one of the privileged people. And I still feel this. I'm one of the privileged ones because I'm a white woman living in New York, working in the government. This impacts, as we have heard, millions of women, and I think we all together, women and people, I will say, women and people with reproductive rights. This impacts millions of people who will not have the ability to make a choice, who have now effectively lost control over their futures. This is an affront to the people and the women who fought 50 years ago for this right. This is a slap in the face to the people and the women who fought 50 years ago, gave everything they had to make sure we had this right enshrined in our Constitution. This is an assault on women my age. I'm 34. For people who are thinking about starting a family, deciding what they want their family and their futures to look like. It is a personal assault, and this is a complete disregard for the future of our children, for what the world that we are setting them up to grow up in, especially our black, brown, transgender, and children living in economic difficulties. This is an absolute affront and a travesty, and I struggled a lot with the words to use today because none of them feel big enough. None of them feel, we can say affront, we can say assault, we can say all these things, none of them feel big enough for what this really means, for what the impact this will have and is going to have in just 30 days. 30 days, what is it, 20 states are now going, 22 states, thank you, are going to ban abortion in just 30 days. Think if you're a person who had an appointment scheduled, or you were planning to go into a doctor, and you find out tomorrow that you're in need of an abortion. You are out of luck in 22 states and growing in the United States of America. This is absolutely unfathomable. And so here in New York, we have a responsibility, a deep moral and unwavering responsibility to make sure not only that every single person living in New York continues to have the right to an abortion, but also that anyone who comes here seeking an abortion has access, and that we are protecting our medical providers, and that is the package that the governor thankfully and wonderfully signed just last week. But it feels really difficult to not be able to help the people who do not have the funds to get here to New York. There is still so much we need to do, including pushing for an equal rights amendment in our state constitution, which is something that we are hoping we can do in the short term. But there is so much still left on the table, because while we are here in New York fighting, we have to lend our energy, our voices, to making sure, as was said, we elect pro-choice strong, unwavering candidates up and down the ballot. Up and down the ballot. These are our school boards, our town boards, our state legislatures, our county legislatures, and our federal government. Because not only is that the bench of people that we will have running for more seats, but that sends a signal, again, to every community across our state and across our country that this will not and this cannot stand. So I thank you all for being here today. I thank you all for coming together to lend your energy. We need to build on this, get involved in a race. We need to build on this and make sure that not only here in New York, but across the country, we push back and we fight back. Thank you.
Good afternoon. Actually, not good afternoon. Senator Gillibrand, thank you so much for bringing us together to give us an opportunity to raise our voices in outrage over this decision. We saw it coming. They sent us a message a couple of months ago that said, hey, this is what we're going to do. So we knew it was coming, but still, the disappointment, the outrage, the fear is palpable. It is across our communities. I have a niece that attends college in Louisiana, one of the states that is set to ban abortion altogether. I'm glad she's from New York, but I worry. I worry about her. I worry about every college student that is attending college in one of those 22 states. I worry about every young woman in any of those states across our country. In addition to the privilege points that Senator Hinchey highlighted, I would say that I'm privileged to be 60 years old. And that in the years in which I was building my career, in the years in which I was having to decide whether or not I would take that next promotion, travel on that next business trip, or whether it was time for me to start a family, I had the right to make my own choices for what was right for me. And I am saddened beyond belief that this next generation of women are not going to have that chance. Nope. And I think it is my responsibility, it is our responsibility to raise our voices, to elect pro-choice candidates who are going to support reproductive rights across this country, so that we can make sure that these rights will be enshrined in law and we won't be subject to the whims of justices ever again. And that's not going to happen just because we write letters. It's not going to happen just because we wave signs. It's going to happen because we elect people who want to protect our rights as women. It's going to happen because we're going to elect people who say women are 51% of the population. We are 56% of the voting population. And we want to be equal participants in this state and in this country's and in the globe's economy. We are smart, we are capable, and we are the junk. And we are going to demand our rights. And it's going to start today, and it's going to continue through November, and it's going to continue on until we get these rights secured in law once and for all. Thank you.
Good afternoon. My name is Michelle Oshlich. I'm a Schenectady County legislator, and I'm here to talk to you from the local perspective. I implore you to become informed about your local elected officials. Not only is it training ground and a stepping stone for folks that want to take on further public service, we need leaders at every level that will protect our rights. When you go to the polls in November, remember what these leaders have said today, and remember that every election matters, your vote matters. Roll up your sleeves, folks, because we have so much work to do. Thank you.
We can take some on-topic questions from anybody up here.
Senator Hinchey mentioned the Equality Amendment. there's talk about being brought back to the Capitol, perhaps as soon as next week, on guns, a Second Amendment warning as well. What are the chances that the Equality Amendment gets done before then? What is your understanding of what the holdup is, and do you anticipate it being on any sort of agenda?
I'm hopeful. Those are conversations that are happening. I'm not privileged to say the details specifically around the legislation and some of the holdups, but I'm incredibly hopeful. Our conference, I know, is united to get this through. So we're working with both houses to make sure that we can do it, and I'm incredibly hopeful. We've never needed it more. And so we were just talking about it this morning, and it'll definitely be a topic of conversation as we go into conference before the special session.
Do you think there's any further state action that can be done aside from what was just done a few weeks ago?
Those are things that we're all still looking at. I mean, there's a lot of support and desire to support telehealth for people who are in other states. There are some legalities and some challenges with the law on how we can do that. So that's what we've been working and looking into. That's where our bill stops short. It includes telehealth for people who are, as soon as you cross the border into New York State, it covers telehealth for that, but you still have to be within New York State to get something prescribed to a pharmacy in New York. Those are some of the challenges. It's very difficult to understand how other states can put laws on us, but we cannot come back. I agree. So we are very determined to try to figure out some creative solutions around that, but there's a lot of legal parameters in which we're still working through.
Do we have any other topics for the Senator Gillibrand, with this matter potentially going towards the Senate, the filibuster is going to prevent any meaningful action with the makeup of the Senate right now. Would you support abolishing the filibuster, and then also as another item, possibly expanding the Supreme Court?
So I do support abolishing the filibuster, especially to enshrine Roe into law, to codify reproductive freedom, but also to codify voting rights, to codify common sense gun reform, to make sure that we have clean air, clean water. There's a lot of things that are part of the Democratic vision that we've not been able to accomplish. So that's why we're working so hard towards electing more Democrats in the November election. And with regard to changing the makeup of the court to depoliticize it, we don't have the votes for that either. So if we're going to do anything to depoliticize the court or to guarantee voting rights, we're going to have to elect at least 2 more Democrats to the Senate.
That are doing their job.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Anything else? All right. Good.
Singled out for women's right to choose, and I guess the preeminent election issue coming up. What do you expect in the midterm elections because of this ruling?
I think it's already affected several states with the draft ruling. We have 4 or 5 incumbents that have red or purple states. It's already changed how they're doing in those states. They are ahead in all of those states where reproductive freedom is a very important issue. I think that will continue to impact outcomes. I think it will impact outcomes of red and purple districts that we won when we flipped the majority in the House. A lot of those women were national security women. They won because women turned out to vote in those suburbs. Those are women that care deeply about reproductive freedom. They're the women who marched when President Trump got elected and marched on Washington to express their outrage that a president who would brag about assaulting women would be elected president of this country. So this is Trump's America. This is what he intended. It's why he stuffed the Supreme Court with 3 ultra-right-wing justices. It's why those 3 ultra-right-wing justices misled the Senate in their testimony, saying that they would give due deference to precedent, and stare decisis is important. They misled several senators, 2 of whom have already said, I felt that I was not told their views. And so the truth is, this is what Trump's America has wrought, and I hope every human being understands what this means. Women do. Women understand. They're the ones who bear children. They know exactly what this means. But I hope that the men who love them also understand what this means, because I don't think they can imagine for one day what it would be like to not have control over their bodily functions for 10 months. I don't think they know what it would feel like to have no decision making over 10 months of their lives. They can't conceive of it. And if any law was ever written that impeded their ability to make decisions about their own bodies, I promise it would be upended immediately. So we have to make sure that every American understands what this means. It's a breach
of trust that we have had within society that women have equal civil rights and equal justice under the law. This is a breach that took 50 years to build certainty around that they have literally ripped apart. And so this is something that people are going to have to understand deeply, and fight back in every way they can. And that means making sure we elect candidates who actually share these values.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, thanks everybody. Thank you.
Thank you guys. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
I really did want to.
Does anybody want to be in a picture?
Here, Dan. Here you go. Want to go over here? Yeah.
Lately in Albany, it is a decision that reshapes American society.
Get over there in the middle.
Good.
This way a little bit more. All right, let it fly.
I'm Dan Levy in Albany. It is a decision that reshapes American society. Just ahead, post-Roe America. That's rolling? Just ahead, post-Roe America has begun. Time in history, a constitutional right has been stripped away. I'm Dan Levy in Albany. For the first time in history, a constitutional right has been stripped away from Americans.